Find yourself scrolling way back, like years back, on your phone, through old photos, and you get that feeling, that tug almost, like you're peeking into a world you just missed out on.
It's more than just nostalgia, though, right? It's like this deep yearning to connect with something bigger, something rooted in who we are, where we come from.
Exactly. And for Black women, that connection, that feeling, it holds a particular, well, power, I guess you could say, like
Okay.
a chance to rediscover and rebuild what was taken away, disrespected.
It's about our ancestors, their whispers of wisdom and resilience. They're speaking to us across time. And for Black women, that connection, it's a unique kind of power, a chance to reclaim and rebuild what was broken.
And that's what we're diving deep into today. This idea that connecting with your ancestors, it can be so healing, so empowering, especially for Black women. And our guide for this, well, our guidepost, I guess, is this Awaken Your Ancestral Power blog. It's from the Melanated Goddess Circle. And it's about way more than just family trees. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Hmm.
This isn't just about knowing last names and dates. This is about tapping into this wellspring of strength, a wellspring that, frankly, so many Black women have been systematically distanced from.
It's true.
Think about it. Colonization, it was all about erasing cultural practices. It was about replacing belief systems. It was about silencing the voices of elders. Generational trauma, and I know it's become a bit of a buzzword lately, but in this context, it's not just a word. It's the reality, the lived experience of inheriting these wounds from the past.
It's like this weight we carry.
Exactly.
Wow. So we're not just talking about remembering who came before us, right? We're talking about really understanding what they went through, how it still affects us now, how it shows up in how we see ourselves, how we connect, how we experience spirituality.
You hit the nail on the head. And that's what makes this blog post so powerful,
Okay.
It's like this big old reminder that when we reclaim that connection to our ancestors, we're not just remembering, we're healing, we're resisting, we're understanding the past so we can build a better future.
I love how this blog post doesn't just tell us why this is all important. It actually gives us ways to, actually do it, like building an ancestral altar. I love
Yeah.
that. It's so tangible, you're actually making something.
Creating a sacred space. It's about having that visual reminder of the legacy you're carrying every single day. And it doesn't stop at just photos either. Think about fabrics, candles, even smells, scents that evoke your heritage.
It's like, what, inviting your ancestors into your space, making them a part of your life now, not just figures from the past.
That's it, exactly. And speaking of bringing the past to life, the blog talks a lot about the power of family history too. But again, not just names and dates on a page. We're talking stories here, oral histories passed down from generation to generation.
The kind of stuff that doesn't make it into the history books.
Exactly.
Those stories, they hold the values, the struggles, the humor, the joy. It's like putting a puzzle together, Each story adds another piece to who we are.
And, sometimes those missing puzzle pieces, they turn up in the most unexpected places. A family recipe, a song that's been passed down, even just a certain way you express yourself. These little details, they can hold such deep connections to those who came before us.
It's like, especially for Black women, finding those stories, those hidden pieces, it can be like, I don't know, like taking back something powerful. These weren't just stories, right? They were like survival guides almost.
Mm.
Ways to keep their faith, keep their culture alive when everything around them was trying to, crush it.
You got it. And the blog takes it even a step further with this whole idea of rituals.
Yeah.
And these aren't just like going through the motions things. They're about really connecting, honoring, asking for guidance from the people who came before us.
And it all ties into nature, right? Like the blog post talks a lot about how important it is to connect with nature.
And this is where it gets super interesting. So you have a lot of African spiritual traditions where nature isn't just like a pretty backdrop. It's sacred. It's like this living, breathing embodiment of like the divine.
So it's not just about going for a hike and getting some fresh air.
Exactly.
It's deeper than that.
It's like stepping into this whole other, I don't know, energy, I guess, like the line between, what we see and what we feel. It gets all blurry. It's like you can almost sense them there, the ancestors walking with you.
And in that space, we might actually be more open to hearing them, to feeling their guidance. Which brings us to another big thing the blog talks about, intuition. Those gut feelings that hit you, the dreams that keep coming back, even just like weird coincidences, the synchronicities.
That's like they're trying to tell us something.
Yeah, like little whispers across time, trying to nudge us in the right direction. But are we listening? That's the real question.
Right. We're so busy, so plugged in all the time. Exactly. And we have to like actively quiet all that noise to hear them. It takes effort. The blog even talks about how colonization, it messed with that too, how intuition became this like bad word, something to be suspicious of. But for so many Black women, it's always been this powerful tool, this gift passed down through generations.
So it's about reclaiming that connection, trusting our instincts. Like we have this wisdom inside of us, and it's not just ours, it's theirs too. Our ancestors, like they're saying, hey, we've been down this road before, let us help you. It's like we're not, just walking around on our own. Like we're part of this long line of strong women, and they're like cheering us on.
And their stories, they're not just from the past. They have
Ah.
so much to teach us right now. Today, especially honestly for Black women today, all the pressure, the expectations, it's a lot. But those whispers, those ancestral whispers, they could be like a lifeline.
This blog, it really got me thinking with that last question. Your roots are calling. Are you ready to answer? Like, whoa, talk about a wake-up call. It's like, yeah, they're calling, but am I even picking up?
And it doesn't have to be this big dramatic thing either. It could just be, I don't know, lighting a candle for them, your grandma, your great aunt, whoever,
Right.
or learning how to make that dish, the one that's been passed down in your family forever. Even just being out in nature, really being present there, it can be enough.
Just taking that first step, right? However small it feels, it's like we're honoring them by being our true selves,
Yeah.
by really stepping into our power. And that's a beautiful thing.
It really is.
Yeah.
So as you go about your day, your week, remember,
Yeah.
you come from incredible people. Resilience, creativity, it's all there in your DNA. Don't be afraid to lean into it. Let it lift you up. And don't ever be afraid to ask for their guidance.
Because those stories, those struggles, those triumphs, they hold the key. They can unlock, I don't know, I really believe this. They can unlock something amazing inside of you. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. It's been really special.